In a world where losing in your fantasy football league isn't an option, we present to you Triple Coverage Podcast.
If you like what you see, make sure you click subscribe below. We're going to be here all season giving our punishments on the Wheel of Punishment on our Thursday night Triple Threat episodes. We're going to review Thursday games and preview the upcoming Thursday games of the season. But as for tonight, it's the first one of the year. The Packers at the Bears, so let's get it started.
In a world where losing in your fantasy football league isn't an option, we present to you Triple Coverage Podcast.
Coming to you live from TCP Studios in Las Vegas, Nevada, Jay Up and James Up are your co-hosts for everything fantasy football related. So sit back, crack a cold one, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to Triple Coverage Podcast. It is Thursday, and we are in the midst of our first game. It is tonight.
It's here.
That first game we've been waiting for all offseason. We've been talking football the entire offseason. Ready for this night. We have the Packers and the Bears. But first, I want to introduce myself. I am your co-host, Jay Up, and you can find me on Twitter at TripleCoJ. And I'm here with my co-host, my brother James.
What's up, guys?
And you can find him on Twitter at TripleCoJames. So as we said in the intro there, we will be doing a preview and a review of the Thursday night games this entire season, along with the Wheel of Punishment, which we'll kind of go over a little bit later in the episode, and we'll even spin to figure out who loses.
And it's on YouTube.
And it's on YouTube. So if you are listening in your car, that's fantastic. We'll give you some insight to the Thursday night games before you go and bet the game or before you set your lineups for the week. And if you want to go watch it on YouTube, you can actually see our punishments on a weekly basis. Today, there's obviously no punishment because we're making our first wager of the year.
You got out of it this week.
Yeah, because I had a really bad record. Was it 2 years ago?
I don't know.
Last year was a little more even, but 2 years ago was just ridiculous.
It's hard with two people. It's 50-50 chance we're going to lose every week.
Yeah.
So we'll have to keep track of that and see how good and bad we are here.
And we keep trying to get friends to come in on this Thursday night episode, but they don't want to be part of the punishment.
Yeah,
so if you're not going to be a part of the punishment, then I don't see why you should come in on the Thursday episode.
Right, so every week we'll pick, we'll do a fantasy-style draft, a snake draft, we'll flip a coin or whatever it is for somebody to go first. You're going to pick one quarterback, one running back, and one either receiver or tight end. And it'll be my three versus Jay's three in a standard PPR scoring format. We use our Venetian Dynasty scoring system. And then we'll break it down and we'll let you know the following week who won, who lost. We're going to spin the wheel to see what that punishment is going to be, and we're going to have to do it on live on air on our YouTube channel and on iTunes if you're listening there as well.
And as I said, we'll go over what the punishments exactly are if you can't see it on YouTube or if you're listening in your car. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's talk about this matchup. You have the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. The reason they picked it for the opening week, usually it's a Super Bowl team that plays.
Right, it's the first time in a while it hasn't been.
But it's the 100-year anniversary of the NFL, so they wanted to take the two teams that have been around the longest, which is the Packers and the Bears.
Oldest rivalry in football.
And fittingly, the Bears are actually favored by 3 points in this one, and because they're at home, and the over-under is 46, which is pretty high.
Yeah, it is. Bears coming off last season with one of the top defenses in the entire NFL. So I think this game's going to be very even. As far as their offenses go, Chicago Bears 11th. Their defense was 11th versus the run. Is that true?
Yeah, Bears were good against the defense. Khalil Mack was once he got there.
Yeah, Green Bay averaged 289 yards passing a game last season. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers. I hate that Aaron Rodgers gets hurt so much. I guess I should say he's like fragile. He played through injury, but you can tell when he's hurt. And even though he's playing, I don't want to see him on the road against the Bears and Khalil Mack week one. Like, that's just scary to me.
Okay, but this is the same thing that happened last year.
I know.
I think it was the second week or it was Sunday night, but the first game of the season for them was the Packers and the Bears. Aaron Rodgers got hurt in the first half, went into halftime, and everyone thought he wasn't going to come back. The backup did come in, but then Rodgers got back into the game, and he led them on a triumphant come-from-behind victory.
Yeah, that's how he likes to do it. He's like a showman.
But I think he had 2 injuries in that game, if I remember, and both of them were kind of major injuries, but he played through them, and then the rest of the year was kind of a is he going to play, is he questionable type of season.
Yeah, right out of the gate, I said that they're 11th versus the run. They were 11th running the ball on offense, Chicago was. They were actually first against the run, them in New Orleans. were tied for first against the run. Their
Okay.
defense.
They're both number one.
Yeah, passing, they were 7th against the pass. So
Okay,
again,
so what are you looking
pretty solid
for?
defense.
What are you looking for in this game, like as the outcome? Like what are you looking for?
I'll say the one thing that I really want to see is how much David Montgomery is going to be used in this offense. The preseason hype and the OTA hype ever since he's been drafted in Chicago, and they kind of got rid of Jordan Howard. Everyone's kind of assuming that David Montgomery is going to take the Jordan Howard role and just going to run with it as far as touches and passing and everything. Like, it looks like he's going to be the man, but they also did go out and get Mike Davis, and they still have Tariq Cohen there. So I believe that Cohen's still going to be used in the passing game. I think it's going to be Montgomery and Mike Davis. I want to see how those two guys are used, because I believe this season, David Montgomery, if he does what I think he can do, can be a top 15 back, maybe even squeeze into the back end of a top 12.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's like right away in week 1 if that happens. I think that it might take a little bit of time. I think that he's the most talented back they have, and I think that was obviously a move they wanted to make because they moved up in the 3rd round to get David Montgomery. So they obviously wanted him that badly to where they decided they had to move up to get him. And I think that he's a clear-cut best guy they have. But in week 1, do they kind of split it up between Mike Davis and by split it up? I mean, maybe does Mike Davis get 7 or 8 to 9 carries, and David Montgomery gets like maybe 12, 13, 14 carries, and then Cohen gets a couple here and there? Like, is that how they're going to split it up to where Montgomery gets a few more than Mike Davis, but they don't really just hand the whole game over to him? That's what I'm kind of curious to see.
Unless Mike Davis comes out and starts averaging 6 yards or 5 yards per carry, it's going to be David Montgomery's job. We just don't know how soon it's going to be his. It should be literally 70% going to Montgomery and 30% going to Cohen.
Yeah, I agree. He's the most talented back, but
sprinkle in Mike Davis every once in a while. But I don't think he's the answer there. I think David Montgomery is the guy that they fell in love with, and I think that he's done nothing in this offseason to tell us otherwise, except for he's going to be the starting running back on this team.
Yeah, the one thing I'm looking for in this game is I want to see if Matt LaFleur really stands by his word, or if it was just coach speak and running his mouth with the using the running backs in the passing game.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones has shown in the past that he can catch. Jamal Williams can catch as well. And so I want to see, like, is he really going to use, because historically Aaron Rodgers isn't really a guy that kind of dumps the ball off to running backs a lot. Like, he will use them sporadically, but not as much as LaFleur says he wants to use them in the passing game.
Right.
If he does, and he sticks to his word, and they do use Aaron Jones in the passing game more, then to me that kind of warrants his value in the 3rd round of drafts. Like, if he's going to get the passing work and be the lead guy there, then he's obviously warranted a spot as a 3rd round running back.
Yeah, I still don't believe in Aaron Jones as much as you do. I don't know. I'm not sure what everyone sees. It's a Green Bay Packers team that just doesn't run the ball as much as every other team, and they don't throw their running backs as much as every other team, like you just said. And I'm just not sure that Aaron Jones is going to be a guy that I can rely on for all 16 weeks. Taking him as early as the 3rd round is very scary to me, just like Damian Williams taking in the 3rd round is scary to me. I just don't believe that either one of these two guys is going to be a staple in the top running backs for the season.
It's hard to compare those two, though, because Damian Williams has always been a career backup. For 5 seasons, he's been a backup. He was a backup in Miami, and he was a backup in Kansas City when he first got there. And he kind of got thrust into that starting role with Kansas City just because Kareem Hunt got suspended.
Right.
So it's like Aaron Jones has actually been the starter. He kind of won that job from Jamal Williams and Ty Montgomery over a year ago. And then only time he came out was because of injuries, and he had a 2-game suspension last year. So it's a different meaning for him. Like, he's the starter. You know what I mean? Damian Williams is just a guy that by default was the first running back on the field.
No, I agree with that. Green Bay's defense is giving up 25 points per game last season.
Yeah.
So that's why the over-under is so high at 46. I think both teams are going to be able to score as long as Rodgers has a little bit of time to get the ball downfield. Do you feel confident playing these list of players, Jay? Ready? Week 1, your fantasy lineup. Are you okay with starting Anthony Miller in your flex?
No.
Me either. Are you okay with starting Allen Robinson as your number 2? Because that's where he's going.
I would feel comfortable he's my flex guy. I would hope that he's my flex guy, not my number 2.
Okay, and Geronimo Allison, you comfortable playing him week 1?
In my flex, I would.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Flex.
Okay. Obviously, everyone's starting Jones. Everyone's starting Aaron Jones. Everyone's starting Devontae Adams. Aaron Rodgers as well. On the Bears side, Trubisky, I'm okay with starting at home against Green Bay. David Montgomery for sure. Are you comfortable starting Tariq Cohen in your flex? I'm a little sketchy about him.
I'm not a huge
Like
fan
the-
of Cohen, and we've talked about this before. We're not huge fans of Cohen, but if he's in your flex, then yeah. I mean, he as a flex guy in a PPR league, yes, because he's still going to get catches. He's not going to get as many carries as he did last year. I think he had somewhere upwards of about 100 carries, which we think that's going to go down.
He's not going to get that many.
But he still was their PPR guy. So, like, even if that gets taken away a little bit by David Montgomery, they're not just going to phase him out completely. So I think that he's an okay flex play.
So Trubisky, yes. Montgomery, Cohen, yes. Allen Robinson, yes. Anthony Miller, for me, is he's got to do something. The hype last year on him was out of control during the whole entire offseason. Once the season started, you pretty much never heard from him. Like, he was just a guy, and we were wondering he's got polished route running, and he was this, and he was everything they wanted him to be. The whole offseason, they preached his name like he was the second coming of, Julio Jones, and here he is, just a guy. So I'm not really sure that you can play him yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure about him either, but I do like the over in this game because I think that these two defense, I think that Green Bay's much improved on defense, and Chicago is one of the top defenses in the entire NFL. So I could see a defensive touchdown somewhere along the line here. I could see even a couple of turnovers. Let's face it, like Trubisky is not like the most protected quarterback. He does make mistakes.
Oh yeah.
So like I could see a defensive touchdown or a couple turnovers that could make this game busted wide open.
Yes, I actually think that Green Bay's secondary has gotten a lot better this year because they're older. Last year they were very young, a lot of rookies, a lot of guys that never started before. I think this season, as long as everyone can stay healthy, I think their actual secondary is a huge upgrade from where it was last year. But even with that said, I think Chicago's going to be able to run the ball, and I think that Trubisky's going to have plenty of targets to go around to Allen Robinson, Anthony Miller. Trey Burton now is questionable. We're not sure if he's playing or not. So who do you think?
I don't think he does play, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's questionable. He's listed as questionable, but I think he's more on the side of doubtful.
So you have Cohen, Robinson, and Miller. Anyone outside of those three in the passing game?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe David Montgomery gets a couple of catches as well.
I'm sure they will, yeah.
Yeah, so I really like David Montgomery this year. I think he's going to have a big game this year, and he's going to come out and take that job pretty quickly from Mike Davis. And maybe even take some carries away from Cohen. Some catches away from Cohen.
So, do you want to pick our players?
Yeah, so do you have a coin on you?
I don't.
Okay, so I'm going to flip a business card. TCP
right.
business card. Bang,
Yes.
bang. If it is the logo, then it's you, I guess. And if it's the information on the back, then it's going to be me.
Okay.
For
That's
the
the
first
first I've
pick.
ever seen anybody flipping a business card, but okay.
Well, there you go.
So is that me for the first
That's
pick?
you.
Woohoo.
So first pick between the Green Bay Packers and Bears, do we have to rotate teams? Or are you okay with, how do you want to do this?
I'm okay
Since
with-
our first week.
I'm okay with it doesn't have to be.
So you can have all three on the same team?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Because the chances on that are pretty slim, I think.
Okay, so your first pick, Jay, is
Is going to be Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. I thought you were going to go a different way.
Yeah, I almost did. go a different way.
Aaron Rodgers for Jay. I will take Devontae Adams
Mm-hmm.
for my number one PPR scoring. And we'll give you the scores next week, but you can follow along if you're in a standard PPR league. You'll know before next week. Go ahead, Jay.
I'm going to go with David Montgomery.
Oh, you get to go again. Yeah, that's right. We don't go snake, or we do?
Oh, we can go Snake. You go
thought
ahead.
we
You want to
did.
pick? You can go with Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams and David Montgomery.
Okay. I'll go Aaron Jones then.
There you go. You got your sweetheart. And then I get Trubisky as my quarterback.
And then I will take. I'll take Allen Robinson.
Okay, so Jay's three are Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Allen Robinson, PPR scoring. James's three is Mitchell Trubisky, David Montgomery, Devontae Adams. And then now I guess we're going to talk about the Wheel of Punishment because this is what it's all about. So we're now putting our money up where it is. Our mouth. Is it money over the mouth? What do you do? What do you put?
You put your money where your mouth is.
You put your money where your mouth is, folks. So for the Wheel of Punishment, I think there's 8 options on there. Karaoke is on there twice. That is where we have to pick a song, or any song you want.
Mm-hmm.
You got to change the words to actually be relevant to how you lost or the players involved or what happened. You can do it any way you want, but you have to change the words and sing a song live on air, which is my personal one that I hate doing the most because it's the most pressure. I can never stay on beat. It's always the most stressful for me.
That's one of my favorites to do just because I think they're funny.
I just get stressed out. Yeah, it's funny later, but the build up to it for me is it's just it's too much.
Too much anxiety.
Hot chocolate is one of them. I went out and bought 2 chocolate bars with the Carolina Black Reaper pepper, and it's in the form of chocolate. and you're
Tough
gonna
one up there.
have to eat one of those, which is another one that's like, I don't mind the punishments that like hurt or whatever. It's more of like the embarrassment and like the pressure. So I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it, and even if it's like ridiculously spicy, the only thing that kind of bums me out about it is that you're supposed to drink milk to like kind of soothe it instead of water because it just makes it worse. And I hate milk. It's disgusting.
Well, I'm okay with it, but I have seen the videos of people doing it, and it's no joke. I'm talking people are throwing up, snot coming out of their nose because it's very hot. It's not right when you bite into it. It's after you swallow it. It's like a habanero kind of, but like 10 times worse than that. The next one is pie face, where you're gonna have to, I guess, get a pie in the face to play that game. Put some whipped cream on there.
Game. You put whipped cream on there, and you have to turn it until you get hit in the pie in the face.
Okay, I don't mind that one that much. We have another one called ring toss. Ring toss is an inflatable, like football goalpost that you have to put on your head during the entire show, while the other person just throws rings at it, just because I think that'd be funny looking.
Yeah.
The other one is watch your mouth. It's a game that's out there now where you put a mouthpiece in your mouth that like stretches your mouth open so wide to where
you can't lips.
Really close your lips, and it's very hard to talk. So we're gonna have to do that for at least 5 minutes during the show. That's very hard to talk. It's funny for YouTube as well. Shot of hot sauce is another one. The winner gets to pick what hot sauce it is, so you can go as hot as you want. That to me sounds like it's a stomach ache, kind of waiting to happen, but not as much as the last one.
No.
The last one is called Chug 'em. That I did that last year. I'm gonna tell you, it was horrible. It was 1 full glass of milk followed by 1 full beer, basically shotgunning both. Neither one of me and Jay, I'm not sure what happened when we were younger. We don't like milk. I had a situation happen to me when I was younger that I'll never drink milk willingly unless I absolutely have to. Even when it's in cereal, I will let the milk drain before I take the bite of cereal. That's just how I am. So to me, this is one that I also don't like. But that's why we picked them, because we don't like them. Okay, so we're going to spin the wheel of punishment to see what we're going to be doing if we lose. As you're watching on YouTube, you can see it here before I see it. Let's see what it is. God damn it. Karaoke. I knew it. So karaoke is going to be, so one of us is going to have to write a song for next week. So now, because it's been the whole off season, I haven't really been paying attention. Usually during the regular season, if I hear a song, I'm like, oh, this would be kind of, cool to do karaoke too. I haven't really looked at that. So now, from now till next Thursday, I'm going to have to listen. Well, you know what? I'll wait for the game to happen Thursday. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to automatically assume I'm going to lose already.
We'll try to pick popular songs too that obviously people have heard of. Every once in a while, we will throw an oldie song in there.
Oh yeah.
Because we kind of grew up on oldies, but yeah, we did Drake, we did Taylor Swift,
Pearl Jam.
We'll do quite a few. 21 Pilots we did.
Johnny Cash, I think, was a feature.
Yeah. So we'll mix it up a little bit. It won't be the same thing over and over again.
All right, so karaoke for week 1. I guess, again, I'll just go over who we have, and you guys can cheer for whoever you want to. James has Devontae Adams, David Montgomery, and Mitchell Trubisky. Jay has Aaron Jones, Allen Robinson, and Aaron Rodgers. So good luck to you, Jay. I think that's actually three players on each side that are very able to take over and win the week for us.
Yeah,
if it's going to come down for me is between Allen Robinson and Trubisky. Like, if Trubisky has a great game, I should be good to go. If Allen Robinson ends up catching a touchdown or anywhere near 100 yards, I'm pretty sure you're going to win that.
Yeah, well, I think that most people that are listening are probably going to want you to lose because you're so bummed out about being karaoke.
I just don't like it. It's just a lot of pressure on me.
It sucks. For me, the worst part of it is writing and trying to figure out lyrics that rhyme and go with the beats. Not so much singing it, because the singing part to me is the funny part, because neither one of us sound good singing. We both sound terrible. So why not just embrace it and be like, look, we both sound like garbage. We're not getting a record deal out of this, nor are we trying to.
Yeah, but
it's funny.
It's hard for me to stay on beats and know that the camera's rolling and that we're recording, and I'm worried about the sound quality, and I'm worried about you holding the phone and hitting play at the right time. Like, there's a lot of moving parts. Even when our dad came in the studio that one time, he was like, wow, it's crazy to see the behind the scenes of what actually goes on to produce something like that live on air in the middle of the show. It's hard. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do with 2 people.
To me, the writing is the tougher part.
Well, I can write. I'll be your ghostwriter if you want to sing. I'll write you whatever you want. I'm like Drake.
There's already one song that I can't believe you. I know you've heard it a million times. That would be perfect for any one of the punishments, though, and that's that Billie Eilish song, "I'm a Bad Guy." Because if you listen to the words of it, it's almost like very soft spoken, and she's not like singing and like fast. So it's like you just hear it in your head, and you're like, this would be perfect for her.
Well, after we get off air, I'll play it and I'll
for
sample
sure.
it. But I'm not going to look into it yet because I feel like that's putting out bad juju that I'm already going to lose. So I'll have to think of funny things that rhymes with Adams, Montgomery, and Trubisky. Trubisky is going to be
Trubisky's gonna be a tough one. Yeah,
I think
not too many things that rhyme with Trubisky.
There'll be a just anything with ski on the
See,
end.
that's what I went with. Easy ones. I had Rogers, Jones, and Robinson. Like you can't get any more basic than
You
that.
got to do
It's like pumpkin spice
Mrs.
latte
Robinson. How do you not do Mrs. Robinson? Do we ever do that one?
I don't think we did.
Here's to you, Ellen Robinson. How do you not do that? That's already Rogers I guess would be kind of easy too.
They all would be.
Well, we shall see.
I could
what
even
happens.
do that oldie song that me and Mrs. Jones. I could do that with their.
How's that, Mr. Jones?
Yeah.
That one. Yeah. What about mine? I don't know. Adams. The Adams Family.
You can do.
I could do the Adams Family. The theme. The Addams
you have to do the
Family.
whole finger clicking
Yeah.
and everything, finger popping. Yep,
All
that's
right.
gonna be tough.
Well, we shall see. So cheer for who you want. Green Bay Packers at Chicago Bears. Jay, who are you taking? Under, over, Bears, Packers. What do we got?
I am going to go with the Green Bay Packers and the over.
Packers and over.
I think you're going to have a little Aaron Rodgers magic once again. I think it's going to be a very close game, and I think that Aaron Rodgers will end up prevailing in this game.
So I am also taking the over 46 points. I am taking the Bears on the money line.
So that means it's going to go under, since we both like the over.
Right. So Bears money line because I think the Bears do win this game. I think it's going to be a dogfight. Like you said, it's either going to be Rodgers comes back at the end to win, or maybe the Bears make up for the missed field goal and kind of take some pressure off.
If you haven't listened to us before on any of the betting episodes that we've done, when I joke around about it going the opposite way, it's like we have both hit tickets on a pretty good basis. Like we both have cashed quite a few tickets here and there, but for whatever reason, when we both like one side or one total, for whatever reason it just doesn't seem to hit. When we both are like, I like the over, I like the over a lot. Usually it goes under. That's why we always joke around about that. So,
but let's start this season on a positive note. I've already lost a college ticket by half a point. You had a really bad beat in college football as well with the Northwestern. Was it Northwestern?
I wanted to punch a wall. Yeah, Northwestern, man. I'll never forget that. I was watching it live, literally the last 30 seconds of the game.
What are you mad about?
Let me just tell you that. I sent you the video, didn't I? The video clip. Yeah, all they had to do was basically run the clock out. I know they're trying to score, but the guy didn't even throw the ball. The quarterback hiked it. I had plus 6.5, Northwestern, right? And they're down 10-7 to Stanford with 30 seconds left. Northwestern stops them on fourth down, so Stanford has to punt. First play from Northwestern, and they're on their own 25-yard line. Quarterback takes the hike, and he starts dropping back. Two guys sandwich him. The ball pops out, but the ball pops out and goes 10 yards behind him. So now the ball's loose, going towards the end zone. Here comes some big fat lineman for Northwestern, jumps over the ball. Doesn't even come close to it, jumps over the ball. And a Stanford guy just lands on it in the end zone, and there's the game, 17-7 final. I was like, wow, what a cool way to lose.
That did make it was all over Twitter of like one of the worst bad beats in the last couple of years.
Well, I was glad to be a part of that because that was the last team on my 3-teamer. That's all I needed was Northwestern plus 6.5.
Do you
even a safety? So that lineman lands on the ball. Even a safety, I cover. The only thing I didn't need was a touchdown for Stanford.
Like a pick six.
Exactly
pick
what
six
it was.
is the only way you're losing that.
Right, but instead they fumble, and the fact that the ball literally bounced 10 yards, 15 yards behind him after he dropped back, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, this is ridiculous.
Have you ever in your betting life remember that happening to you the opposite way, where you're like, there's no way I'm going to win this game,
I don't.
and then that happens?
I don't.
I think that's because we only remember our bad losses. That had to have, not that specific situation, but when you're like, God damn, like I need a pick six here to win this game. Like this game's over, and then somehow they get a pick six. I don't ever remember that happening for me.
Well,
either.
here's one instance where it wasn't at the very end of the game, but it happened during the game. Was just a preseason. The Raiders and Seahawks played each other, and I had the Raiders plus 2.5. They were down by. God, what were they down by? They ended up scoring a touchdown, and then they went for a 2-point conversion to tie. So they're down by 8.
Mm-hmm.
They went for the 2-point conversion, and they missed, which I was happy for because I didn't want overtime because then if Seattle kicks a field goal, I lose by half a point.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, just don't get this 2-point conversion and we'll be squared away. And they missed the 2-point conversion, and it wasn't the last play of the game or anything like that, but they missed the 2-point conversion, and so I ended up covering by half a point. So that was a good win, but it wasn't like the end of the game
wasn't like
where
a
it was
miracle,
last 6 seconds left in the game and that happens. It was like it happened early in the fourth quarter.
Well, we remember our losses more than the wins, though, right?
That's
Just
right.
like in poker, when you get a bad beat, As far as when you suck someone out, you don't really remember those times. You think that was a good play, but when you get sucked out and you feel like you got taken advantage of, you'll remember that.
Yeah, that was a tough beat.
So we'll see you next Thursday with our punishment. Somebody's going to be singing, so we'll see who it is. Let's sit back for now. Let's crack a cold one. Enjoy Thursday night.
Let's crack it.